Good day, Mr. Claywell.
Hello, Mr. Ham. How are you? I hope you're feeling better.
I am feeling quite a bit better. Yes, indeed. Working in the Petri dish that I do, I think I contracted a little something. I mean, wasn't terrible, but it was bad enough. Flu is not fun.
So I hear. So far, fortunately, I'm not gonna be loud, but knock wood. I don't think I've ever had the flu. I don't want to find out how bad it is myself. Honestly,
it's not fun. Not fun.
It doesn't sound like it would be fun at all. No.
But I'm on the mend now, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, of
Still
course.
have the congestion and stuff, so I apologize ahead of time if I sound funny. Like, not funny ha-ha, but funny like...
I was going to say, we want to entertain our listeners out there, so sounding funny is a good thing.
Yeah, not funny like that, though. But
okay.
So, yes, as soon as I can get rid of all of that, I'll be like 100% again, and I'm good to go.
Oh, we're glad to hear that.
Yes. Oh, and something else, an update. You know, all of the issues that I had back in the fall, like late summer, fall with medical everything.
Right.
No more bracelet. No more blood thinner.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yes, I'm off of that stuff now. Yay! So
awesome.
Yes, I'm very, very happy about that.
Well, I don't want to share too much out of school because it's not really my news. It's kind of my news, but my stepdad, Terry, is going to be having a procedure done.
Oh yeah,
because he's having a lot of knee issues recently.
I actually spoke to your mom through Facebook the other day, and she was talking about some of the issues that was going on with him, and we kind of bounced back and forth because she was like, "You've been here, so he's going to have a little more of a procedure than what I had."
Right.
But
I think they were talking about doing the same thing they did to you, and then just a few other things as well.
If they can, that's what she was telling me the last.
Right.
She's like, if they can do it and it be that simple, then great. If not,
well, that's based on the preliminary results. That's what they're looking at right now. Is just what they did to your knee, whatever to smooth it off a little bit. Mm-hmm. They're going to do that, and then just like a few other little things, like a partial something. Yeah,
partial replacement or something on one side, I think is what they were talking about.
So hopefully that gets him fixed up.
Oh yeah, because from the way she was talking, she said the poor guy, he'll go down to the shop for a couple of hours, then he's down for like a day and a half. But and I feel his pain. I know exactly where he's coming from. So, I hope it works out good for you, Terry. I can't wait. If it works out great, I can't wait to talk to you and see what it's like on the other side, because for me, it's been awesome.
Right. Well, we hope it is. And hopefully they get him taken care of so we can get some scooter riding in the spring.
No doubt. I am hoping to be able to get some of that in this year.
Yeah.
Like I had to replace the battery in mine the other day. Went ahead and bought one because my battery had set so long that it just a cell died. So
I'm looking this year at getting new tires and a new battery for mine.
Yeah. I need to do a new rear tire for mine. Because I needed to do a new rear tire for mine like year before last, but I have not ridden. So it's like,
no need to spend the money.
No
if
need
I'm not
to
spend
spend
the
money if I'm not going to ride it.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yep.
And then here lately, of course, you can't ride anyway because it's been coming down precipitation every day for like the last, 6.5 years, it feels like.
Seems like it. I mean, I think the people that have the bass boats are happy right now because, I mean, that's the way they're getting back and forth to the store.
Yeah, they run down to the grocery in their bass boat and come back. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh, my gosh.
I even had, last night, I was up late on flood watch because there was some water starting to come back in the basement again.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it was never to the point where I had to take action. It was just kind of, you could see it starting to seep in around the edges.
Right.
But it never was enough that I had to like break out the vacuum or
good.
Go to work or anything. But I think finally about 3:30 this morning, something like that, I finally said, okay, I don't think it's going to
It's
flood.
done what it's going to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Because it had stopped raining at that point for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's always a lag. So I know, okay, even if it stops raining, there's still going to be water running for a while. So I stayed up for probably about an hour after it stopped raining just to keep an eye. And then finally, let's say about 3:30, something like that this morning, I was like, okay, I don't think it's going to flood. I got a little damp I'm going to have to deal with, but I've got like 4 box fans down there wide open and the dehumidifier. And
so you were curbing it before it got out of hand.
Trying to, yeah.
We went over to, last week I had to take one day off to go back to the doctor yet again. And it was on the 20th, whatever day that was. And we drove down to Burnside Island just to maybe go down and see what the dock and stuff looked like. Right. They had all of that shut down. Like when you got to the point where you could go up to the golf course or head over to the boat ramp, right. They had the road blocked there going to the boat ramp. So we just went up to the golf course, turned around, and came back. And just as soon as you cross the causeway to the left, there's that little gravel parking lot that used to be the beach, is what they'd call it. That was right there. And we drove down into that. Well, I saw pictures this morning where the water is up over the causeway now at the lake. Cow. And all of that where we were driving is now underwater. So it's insane. We've met new records as far as water height in Cumberland Falls. The record had been set in 1984. I want to say at like a 754 point something feet, and we are well above that now, like by a couple of feet.
Wow! So, I saw that somewhere this morning, I think.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, it's unprecedented. The amount of water that's here right now. It's crazy, and everybody's been posting, of course, like the drone footage and the pictures and things like that of Cumberland Falls. That is no longer a falls; it's just a Class 4 rapid at this point. And it's right? it's insane.
Yeah, I've seen some aerial photos. The same gentleman that took them a couple of years ago when it flooded, right, went back with the drone again and took some more. He went down to PC Park too.
Oh yeah, there's an island down there now. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, like normally the bottom down there where you can go down and drive around. I think the campground and all that kind of stuff is kind of in the bottom there. Mm-hmm. Is now there's an island and all of the roads are underwater. It's
ridiculous.
It is crazy. It is crazy. But I'm hoping to get a few good dry days ahead of us here. That's kind of what they're talking about, at least until close to the weekend. We are on schedule yet again to hopefully get trusses put on. I don't know if it'll happen or not. Right now, the basement at my house, my new house, is a lake. I mean, it's holding water quite well, but it's okay. It'll dry. I mean, but yeah, it's insane. It's insane. I'm ready for dry weather. I don't care if it's like a month or two of dry weather. They start talking drought, I'll be like, thank you.
Oh, you and me both, dude. I am so sick of water and rain. Like last night, I'm telling you, like I said, I was down there until 3:30 in the morning, just stressed to the max.
Yeah. I mean, you have like your house that's your castle.
Right.
You do not want the moat inside. You want it on the outside. So.
Yeah, exactly. I was so completely stressed. I mean, you helped me deal with it last time it happened.
Right.
And it's like, I just don't know what I would do, man.
There's only one thing you can do. Vacuum it up, move it out. I mean, that's all you can really do.
Yeah, I know. It's so frustrating. So frustrating.
It is. So yeah, I mean, I guess, with the weather the way it's been, this winter has just kind of been I don't know. I want to say the last episode when we were talking about depression and things like that in the winter. I kind of have started feeling some of that. I got in that kind of a lull.
Man, I'm telling you.
And I was like, this is not good at all. So actively trying to get out and do things and be around people. Last night went and played. Of course, I'm a uber nerd. I'm 40, almost 41 years old, and I still play tabletop dice game like Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, stuff like that. So went last night and played. Hung out with the guys for a while. That was good. Where we've been sick, myself, my wife, Penelope not so much, but the two of us.
Well, that's good. Yeah, at least the baby was good.
She's been pretty good. The two of us have been kind of battling back and forth with upper respiratory or flu and all that kind of stuff. It's just we've not been able to get out and be around people. So it was like just getting to be out now is nice.
Oh, yeah, man, I'm telling you. And then, you're talking about the last episode, talking about seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah.
I somebody actually gave me one of the little daylight lamps.
Really?
Yeah,
awesome.
I've got it sitting back.
Does it work, or does it seem like it works?
I've only had an opportunity to sit down in front of it one time.
Yeah.
Right now, I just got it, and you're supposed to do it for 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't had time to sit. It's the one I've got small. I'll show it to you later, but it's small and it just sits on your desk, and you just turn it on and sit in front of it for about 30 minutes. It says a day. So I've only had a chance to use it once, so I can't really tell. But
well, I mean, hey, give it a try, right?
Oh yeah, I'm going to give it a try for sure, especially with the deluge that's been happening out here.
That's what I said this morning. Whenever I got up, went in, made a pot of coffee, got the kids some breakfast, and I was like, you know what? Everything is coming open this morning because the sun was actually shining. So it was like curtains open, blinds open, doors open. Everything was open to let a little bit of sunshine in the house. Just kind of, I don't know, just clear the darkness for a while. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So we got nothing around here to look at but rain-saturated ground and clouds.
Amen.
So what do you say we get away from all this blah and talk about something pretty?
I think that sounds nice. Sounds very nice.
All right.
Like we'll take like a picturesque trip in our minds.
Yeah.
I think that's healthy thought.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to think so. And so a couple of things, I don't know. It's a little strange transition we're going to make, I'm sure, but there are a few places. Most of you that know me know that I like to get out and take photos, landscapes more than anything else, really.
And they are beautiful every time.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And so there's a few sites here that I think just caught my eye. It's places I've seen pictures of over the years that I was just like, wow, that's really cool. And a lot of these are just, some of them are man-made, but most of these are just like natural phenomena.
Right.
And just nature's beauty.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the first one that I just really think is just fascinating is this place called the Eternal Flame Falls. It's in New York.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure where it's at, but I just know it's in New York State somewhere.
Right.
There's some photos you can look up.
Ask your smart speaker. It can tell you where it's at.
Probably, yeah.
I did that without triggering one, dude. I did it.
Yeah. Well, and you did it without being specific to a brand also.
Exactly.
Yeah, good job. Because we fall under different camps on that, by the way.
We do. Yeah. Yes, we do.
You went with the G and I went with the A.
Yes, this is very true.
And nobody went with Cortana.
No, not at all.
She's been dropped.
She's got a weird name. That's what it is.
Yeah. They should have renamed her. But so to me, what this place is, I don't know the right words, but to me, the falls itself is like a stair step falls. Okay. It's not like a big drop falls like Cumberland Falls. It's more of just a cascading stair step kind of a look. But it's called the Eternal Flame Falls. And the reason for that is there is a natural gas fissure, I guess.
Yeah.
In the rock that forms the bed of the creek.
That's cool.
And somebody at some point has lit the gas escaping from the fissure on fire, and it continues to burn.
That is pretty awesome.
Underneath a waterfall.
See, that's what makes it even better.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like literally the two things that should not go together, water and fire, and here you can find them coexisting. Yeah.
So you can look in the photos if you look it up. Well, I'll put links, but on the group page, on the Facebook page. But you can look at the photos of this thing, and it's this gorgeous like cascading stair step waterfall, and then behind the water you can just see a flame burning back in a little recess where the step above overhangs a bit.
Yeah.
And then the flame is tucked kind of up under there, so the water is not directly on the flame.
But I mean, we're talking close proximity.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, it's hard to tell from the photo, but yes, it looks very close.
That's cool.
It's just kind of the flames are tucked back under a little rock overhang a bit, and you got the water flowing down over top of it.
That is really, I would love to see something like that myself. I'd like to go in and I like you. I like to take photos of like the landscape things, and especially when you find something that's a little bit out of the ordinary like that. And that's very out of the ordinary. Yeah. So yeah, that's very cool.
So this was at one point was considered a very obscure attraction. But of course, thanks to Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all these kind of social media places,
nothing stays obscure.
Right. It's very much picked up popularity. It's also there's because of all that. And this is the thing. So this is something else that kind of sparked me on looking at this stuff. Was recently I saw an article talking about this kind of thing. And this is an example of one of those places where this was an obscure kind of thing that not too many people knew about, and it started getting posted on Instagram and the Facebook and Twitter and all these other places. And more people wanted to come and see this phenomena. Yeah. And so I saw an article recently that there are places now in the world that actively, like there's parks and things that actively have signs that say, please don't tag us.
Oh, really?
So
that way it stays kind of a hidden treasure.
Right. They don't want you to geotag. They don't want you to use GPS coordinates. They don't want you to say hashtag Eternal Flame Falls, hashtag whatever city this is in, Chestnut Ridge Park, New York. Like
they basically say, we would rather find people or let people just kind of discover us on their own.
Yeah. Or if you want to share the photo, that's fine. We understand that it's a unique thing and people want to see it, but just don't tag where it is so we're not inundated with all this foot traffic. So one of the things it says in this article about the falls here is the increase in the popularity has had several negative impacts to the area, such as increases in litter, vandalism, pollution, the creek bed around is being eroded by heavy foot traffic.
Yeah.
There's even been people are trying to have successfully pushed to have some of the forest area around it cleared
for like parking to get closer to
it.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Huh. But yeah, I thought it was really pretty and unique, and this is one of the ones where I saw that the people had. There was some push back and forth between people, wanting to publicize it and get it popular, and other people saying, let's let this be a hidden treasure of our area. Right. And I think that's an interesting conversation too, is just, you got all these beautiful places, and I love seeing this stuff, and I would like to go take photos of it, maybe at some point, but I don't want to be I try to be conscious when I go to places like this. Like we went to Red River Gorge, and I've been to the Cumberland Falls, and and I know what they're talking about. Like, dude, last year we went to Cumberland Falls early in the season, and it was so bad with litter and just trash, like under the falls, under the observation decks, in the water. Probably, if I had to guess, I would estimate 400 to 500 2-liter 20-ounce 2-liter bottles, cans, just so much trash, and it's disgraceful. And I don't understand why people have to be like that. I mean, this is a beautiful natural thing. How hard is it for you to carry your trash to the trash can?
I'm
20 feet away.
I am going to make a plug here for a group that I've started seeing more, and I've known about these guys now for a while. At least a few months, if not maybe even a year or a little better. The group For Ocean, they do a lot of ocean cleanup. That's kind of what they do. Beach cleanup, ocean cleanup. They're really focused on plastics in nature. In that's ended up in everything. I mean, they're everywhere. These guys are really doing some good work to try to clean up some of the natural, and they're more focused to ocean and beach areas, but still anywhere that we go, if you see something, pick it up, throw it away. That's an easy thing to do. I mean, these guys, of course, they'll take donations and things like that. And the plastics that they are pulling out of the ocean, if you do donate to them, they'll send you one of the little, the little rubber band type bracelet things that has their logo on it. And it's made from the plastics that they've pulled out. So it's recycled. So that way they're reusing it, for something that,
Oh, okay.
So,
like the
little rubber band like things.
Yeah, okay. Live Strong is the only one I can think of. But I know that's kind of a disgraceful organization now.
Well, but it's you know what I'm talking about.
Right. Disgraced organization.
Yeah. So they do a lot of good work on the coastlines and in the oceans with that kind of thing. So if I don't know of anyone around, like specifically around here, that would do that, in our natural parks and things like that, other than just the rangers and the crews that come and work in it. But I mean, this is something that we all can do. If you see something out there, pick it up, throw it away. It's that simple. Or just don't throw it on the ground to start with, Yeah.
So. And God, what is the saying?
I like to
take only memories and leave only footprints or something like that.
Yeah, I like to say, leave a place better than I left than I went to. Like if whenever I was renting places, I always did repairs. Like I would move into a place, it would be acceptable for anyone to move into, and then I would upgrade things, and never expecting any kind of return. Just I'm living here. I see there's an issue. I'm going to fix it, or I'm going to do something better. And I always have tried to do that. So anywhere I'm at, I like to do that. Even if it's just out wandering around, you see something, pick it up and throw it away,
Yeah. It's not hard.
Not hard at all. But yeah, you're right. It is sad that our national parks, state parks, all of that kind of stuff it's becoming kind of trashy because people are not.
Well, and because there's nobody working there because they keep getting furloughed. But, whatever.
I wasn't going to go there, but did you see that where our senator was pushing for something about, or one of our senators was pushing for something about part of the Daniel Boone National Forest being sold? I
did see that, and I'm completely against it, but I understand where he's coming from a little bit.
I mean, yeah, this is
because it was specifically targeted for your home area.
Yeah, I know, and dude, down there definitely needs some intervention that needs to happen.
Well, the claim with that is, okay, so for people that don't know, Rand Paul, our
Kentucky
U.S. Senator,
yep, from Bowling Green, had tried to push legislation through that would allow somebody, I'm not exactly sure who was going to benefit from this sale, but they were going to allow. It was basically a private sale of part of the Daniel Boone, southern part of
the Daniel Boone National Forest.
Yeah.
Well, it's a national forest, so I don't know who the money would go to if they sold it, I guess is what I'm saying. But the reason they were trying to do this is because McCreary County, which is just south of where we are here in Pulaski, the majority of that county is Daniel Boone National Forest,
which really limits industry. It limits it limits growth in that area.
Right.
So I can see on one hand, if we at least free up some of this land for it to be developed.
Right. I can see where they're trying to come from, but it's also a slippery slope.
It is very much so.
And it's going to be no time at all before they're buying, like every piece of public parks that was established by Teddy Roosevelt is going to be up for sale. Yeah. I mean,
so it's one of those things where, I mean, there's benefit and there's loss on each side.
And like I said, I can understand where it's coming from. McCreary County is, I think, one of the poorest.
The poorest in the country. In the nation.
I thought there was one in Mississippi.
I think they hold the top. The latest poll was that number one. McCreary County, Kentucky is the poorest, which is terrible because it's so beautiful down there. Anyone that loves to hike, anyone loves to fish, anyone loves to hunt, anyone that loves to bike, anyone that loves to rock climb, any of that, it's there. And it's free to go and do. But because it's not advertised. I mean, it is not advertised at all. It is so, I don't know, it's like a wasted opportunity. The whole county is like a wasted opportunity. And that's sad to say because, I mean, I love my old county. But
it's a beautiful place.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a wonderful place to grow up, but because it is so underdeveloped, there's no way I would want to go back.
So. I got you. Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. But anyway, sorry. Okay. We got distracted.
Yes. It's easy to sidetrack. So
anyway, the Eternal Flame Falls is one of the places I would like to see. Another one that I would really like to go see, and this one's really famous. Like everybody's seen this, I'm sure. But the Grand Prismatic Spring.
Oh yes.
Hot Springs in Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
If you don't know, it's kind of a circular pool.
If you don't know it, you definitely need to ask your smart speaker to display, or your phone or something to ask.
Just look it up
is
so you
beautiful.
can see it. It's gorgeous. The colors in it go from yellow to orange to this just light blue to this just deep, beautiful blue color.
Yeah.
I wasn't really aware of this. It is the third largest spring on the planet.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not know that. Wow.
The water is scalding hot because of Yellowstone.
Right. Kind of sitting on a super volcano and such.
It's deeper than a 10-story building.
Wow.
It's 121 feet deep.
Huh.
That's
cool.
Its diameter is 370 feet.
Yeah.
Which is just slightly bigger than a standard football field.
Huh. Well, I said, I had no. I mean, I'd seen pictures of it, but I really never saw anything beside it for scale. So
yeah, me either, because it's always like an aerial shot,
right?
So you can see all the colors of the water. But the reason it gets the colors is because there are different species of thermophile bacteria that live in the water, and as the water goes away from the center, it gets cooler.
Oh yeah.
So the different species of bacteria that live in the cooler water
are different colors.
And they make the water turn a different color.
That is really cool.
Right. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Like I'd seen pictures of it, and I always wondered. I thought there was possibly some sort of an acidic something that's going on there with it being a hot spring and all of that. I'd never really thought about it being a microbe of some kind in the water.
I hadn't either, but yeah, it's a microbe, and I'm just learning this. That microbe that they discovered living in those extremely hot waters has, in the years since their discovery, led to major medical and scientific advances, including partially to the sequencing of the entire human genome.
Oh, wow. That is very cool.
And it's helped NASA understand different life capabilities for extremes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's helped them kind of understand extremophiles a little better.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is really neat.
That's cool. That is cool. All right. So I'll hit one here real quick.
Yeah.
And this is one that it's not here in the States, but I think that it's one of those places on Earth that it's kind of tucked away. Not a lot of people think, or I don't want to say not a lot of people know about it. There's a lot of people that do know about these, but not a lot of people, at least in our circle or my circle, that have gotten to go and actually visit these. And there's over 6,000 of them just on this area, one area in southern Mexico on the Yucatan Peninsula. And these are the cenotes of the Yucatan. They're effectively almost like caves or sinkholes that are filled with water. And it is like another world in them. If you ask your phone or whatever to show you some pictures of cenotes, it is unbelievable to see. Now, obviously, with it being filled with water, to really experience them, you would need to be under the water. So you need to dive, and you need to have someone that's experienced guiding you, because getting lost in a cenote means you don't come back. And that's not a good thing.
And this is why you don't cave dive.
This is why you don't cave dive, right? But these things are awesome. The ones that people are exploring, and they actually will take, like, there are guides that will take you and like divers can go into them. They light them and things like that to where you can see. They are unbelievably beautiful. There was one specifically that I saw a video just a few days ago about, and as the divers were going through the cave there, they came upon this, it's it's a cloud effectively is what it looked like. Now it was below them, so it was almost like fog, like in the water. Now,
how do you get a cloud underwater?
That's kind of what I thought, because I mean, like whenever they were showing this, the video of it, I was like, that is weird. That's strange. And what it is it's actually it is a hydrosulfuric acid cloud. So it's
that sounds fun.
It doesn't it though? And they say don't mess with these things. Where the acid is heavier than the water, it settles to the bottom and it's cloudy. So it looks like a cloud. It looks like fog. But you can swim like right over top of it and you're fine. It's as long as you don't mix it, basically stir it up. And it looked like you were effectively like floating through the air above this cloud, but you were in water. It was really, really cool. Now, the Aztec, of course, thought these things were openings to the other world, like to the afterlife. And they did a lot of burial and things like that in these. So, I mean, as you're swimming through these, it's not uncommon to see human remains in there, bone and or possibly pottery or offerings and things like that to these gods that they thought lived in these cenotes. And they are documenting, how the Aztec lived based on what they find in these cenotes. And the oldest skeleton, I want to say one of the oldest humanoid skeletons that was discovered, they call her Eva, was found in one of these cenotes, and it was almost a complete skeleton of this woman that lived, and like she is resetting what we kind of know of how long humans have been walking on Earth, because she predates what we supposed to know of all of this. So, but
they found her underwater.
They did
this acid stuff.
No, not in the acid stuff. The acid stuff was just in one location.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
No, in these other cenotes, like in all of these, most of them are just either fresh or most of them are fresh water. They're not salt water.
Okay. I was like, how did bones survive for thousands of years in acid?
Yeah,
okay.
No, that's just in like certain very, very small parts of these, and it's random that you'll find something like that. But, all right. But now most of these are just freshwater pool underwater or underground, and they look magical. It's pretty awesome stuff that you find out in there.
Sounds terrifying to me, but okay.
But it looks beautiful. That video, it's like after seeing the video, I was like, I want to go learn how to dive, and I want to go. And I'm claustrophobic, and I thought, man, that looks awesome.
You're a braver man than I am, I tell you that.
What is that fine line they say? Fine line between bravery and stupidity?
I've heard that before, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know which line side of that line I would fall on, but I think it would be really neat. I think it'd look really cool.
I wouldn't mind looking at images of it. I don't think I would want to experience it firsthand.
The fellow that I was watching, of course it's the Yucatan, so we're talking right on the equator. It's hot. He was there in the middle of summer, and it was like 100 degrees, 103 degrees, something like that. And he was like, you know what? If I can find one of these cenotes, I'm just jumping in. And sure enough, like right in the middle of one of the little towns right outside of, not Tulum, what's the other one? Chichen Itza. Right outside Chichen Itza, he was like, in the middle of the town, there's a cenote, and they're like, yeah, you can just go to it if you want to. And people were like swimming, and like was like a swimming pool, like, in the middle of town for them. And I was like, that's pretty awesome. But this was kind of where the people of Yucatan, the Aztec, got their fresh water. So, because I mean, you look across the jungle, there's not a whole lot of stream that's in that area. So, pretty neat stuff.
Right. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the last one I've got that I think just caught my eye. This one is not naturally occurring. It is a man-made thing, but I had seen this image before.
Right.
I had known that it was not CG. Like, I knew this was a real thing.
Okay.
I mistakenly thought it was Thor's Well, which is off the coast of Oregon, I believe, somewhere.
Okay.
So I was looking when I was thinking about talking about this stuff, I was looking that up, trying to find that. And it is not Thor's Well.
Okay.
Thor's Well looks nothing like this. I just had it in my head that that's what it was. Nope, wrong. So I kept looking and finally found this place. It's a man-made phenomenon, but it is water-based.
Okay.
There is a dam in Napa County, California. It's on Puta Creek in the Baca Mountains. It's the 7th largest man-made lake in California that this dam created. And the reservoir that the dam made is what supplies agricultural water to the Sacramento Valley downstream from it. But the reason that this is in my head is, like most the dams I've seen around here all use little gates.
Right.
That they open and close.
Specifically gate dams.
Yeah, that they open and close to let the water, control the water levels.
Right.
This dam, the Monticello Dam, however, uses the water level control mechanism. I can't even think of the way to say that, but whatever.
Yeah.
Is a Morning Glory spillway is what they're called. So basically what it is they've built a concrete tube that sits that goes.
It's like
it's got a hole in the dam lower down.
Okay.
And this big concrete tube attaches to that hole and comes up to the top of the water.
Okay.
And if the water ever goes above that tube, it just goes down in the tube and out the dam.
Okay, so
instead of having
basically
a gate,
what you're saying is there is a horizontal tube that's attached to the dam,
right,
and then a vertical tube attached to that tube. So it's almost like an L shape.
Yep.
Goes up to the top of the water.
Yep. And it's basically like the overflow valve in your toilet.
Okay.
If you want to think about it like that.
Okay.
So if the water ever goes above that tube, it just spills down inside the tube and out the dam. Instead of having gates that open and close,
it's just a fixed spillway.
It's a fixed point that if the water ever gets above this level, it will automatically drain.
Okay.
But while this is stuck in my head, this concrete tube is 72 feet across.
Okay, that's a big hole.
That's a giant hole. And when the water goes above it, you've got this 72-foot perfectly round hole that water just disappears into.
Okay,
and so that's the image that's stuck in my mind, is because it's a perfectly circular hole.
Okay, so I've got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question is, when the water level rises, I don't know if you've looked this up or if you've done the research to know this, do they allow boaters anywhere close to this thing?
I would assume they never allow people close to it.
Okay, I was going to say, because 72 feet, how far down does this thing go?
It doesn't say how long the tube is.
Like the drop on the inside?
Yeah, it doesn't say. The dam itself is 304 feet tall.
Well, you can imagine then it's got to be somewhere around, at minimum, we'll say 200 to 250.
Probably.
Because you're going to have like a flood level, of course, that it's going to be able to. Holy moly.
Yep.
Wow. So, I mean, you literally, if you were to go off the edge of this thing, you are falling into the abyss.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to look right now.
You know what?
There's a lot of numbers here.
What I think of, and this is because I have been watching a lot of Disney because of my little girl, of course. She's been watching the one with Maui in it. And
Moana.
Moana. And so whenever they go to the land of the monster realm, that's what that reminds me of. Like whenever he opens the top of this mountain and he jumps in, and like you, and you hear him, like he's like, whoa,
yeah,
and then you hear, I'm still falling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's what I think of whenever if somebody goes off the edge of that thing. I mean, that's a long way down.
Yeah, it's a long way down. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because I just watched Moana for the first time ever last night.
Really, it's good, isn't it?
It was pretty good. Yeah,
I like that one.
I liked that he did a haka.
Yes. Yeah, there's a couple of times he does that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but when he's getting ready to fight the big lava, I can't remember the dude's name.
Yeah.
He's on the boat and he's doing the haka.
He gets on and he gets into it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's cool, man.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. It's a really good movie. I've watched it many times, to the point that Penelope is now like able to sing along with some of the songs. So, yeah.
That's really cool. I can't find anything in here that tells
about how deep it is and stuff.
Yeah, it's 72 feet in diameter.
Yeah.
It narrows to 28 feet at the exit. Huh. It can drain. Okay, it doesn't say gallons. I was looking for gallons. It can drain 48,400 cubic feet per second of water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Basically 50,000 cubic feet of water a second.
Dang.
Yeah. Okay. Now, it does say right here, swimming anywhere near the glory hole. And I'm sorry, that's just what they call it. It's prohibited.
I mean, it is.
It is a glory hole spillway, so I guess that's why they call it that.
Yeah.
But in 1997, a woman actually was killed when she got caught in the current and swept down the tube.
Wow. Not cool. Not cool.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's one of those things, like I say, it would be really cool to see it from like a drone as you're standing off right the shore.
And that's what I had seen it for, is like a helicopter or drone shot of it. And it's just this perfectly circular hole in a large body of water.
Right.
Where the water, it looks like you pulled a bathtub plug out of a bathtub and the water just makes that little funnel. Yeah. Except it's perfectly round and it just...
Dude, that's crazy.
It's really cool.
That is crazy. That's one of those places that, wow. I mean, I would love to see it, like I say, from a distance. But yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. So I actually was looking, I'm going to talk a little bit about another place. And of course, this is the Yucatan for me is one of those places that just, it's very, very picturesque. Whenever I was there a few years ago, just the coastline is beautiful. The people there were super, super friendly. It was a really, really, really good place to be. And of course, you get to see a lot of things that we don't have around here. And one of the things that I thought was beautiful that up here we don't really think a whole lot about is the pyramids down there. I mean, you got Chichen Itza. It's just one of the largest pyramids in
right. And those are mostly step pyramids, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then there was the one that actually went to Tulum, which is right on the coast. And these things are like 2,000 to 2,500 years old, and they're still standing today, which is a testament to these people that built them. Especially considering some of the detail that is still seen in them is unbelievable. And that is one of the most picturesque places that I think I've ever been to. It's just simply because, I mean, if you love if you like anything to do with the beach, the Caribbean, any of that, it has like a little bit of everything. There's cliffs that's beautiful. It goes right down to the shore. There's white sand beaches. It's kind of like anything and everything that you would want from the ocean in this one area. And then you have these 2,000-year-old, monuments and ruins that are left of this civilization that was huge. So I think that if I could go back to a place that I've been to before just to go visit and walk around again, Tulum is definitely one of those places. They had in Tulum, there's multiple buildings, but the largest is it's a step pyramid to, I can't remember the god that they worshipped there, but it was like one of the gods of the sea. And from the pyramid, if you look out to sea, you can see a barrier reef that forms along the coast, probably somewhere around half mile off the coast. And directly in line with the pyramid, there's a gap in that barrier reef, which, according to their culture, that was the spot where the god came in from the ocean, from the sea, to come in. And there is one of those cenotes that is actually inside the pyramid, in the bottom of it, and it's a tunnel that leads all the way down to the ocean and leads out into the ocean, and that's how the god would get into this temple where they would do their worship. It's a pretty amazing place, and I would love to get to go back there and walk around and see all that again and actually spend some, a couple or 3 hours there rather than the 45 minutes that you get to go there with a little tour guide because.
All right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was one of the greatest places that I think I've ever been. And then I was just looking here at some of these like the top places you should see before you die. Like they've got the lists of things.
Right.
There's one on here that every time I see a picture of it, it just blows my mind. And it's because of how symmetrical it is, I think. It's something that shouldn't be in nature, but it is. And it really, it's in Germany. I'm going to absolutely butcher this name. It's Gablenz, Gablenz is the word.
Sure.
It's called Devil's Bridge, and I'll just show you the picture of it.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No matter what angle,
it's always perfect.
No matter what angle you look at that bridge,
yes,
the bridge and the reflection it makes over the water that it spans,
it's an exact circle,
is always a perfect circle.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And like I said, I've seen that multiple times in various places, and I've always thought, I would love to go and see that place just to see if it really is that accurate, if it really is that symmetrical.
They say it is,
and I'd love to go visit and see it myself. Devil's Bridge in Gablenz, Germany. But yeah, it's unreal. The canyon, yeah, and I'm going to say this, it's something in Icelandic, kind of dealing with fjords. Mm-hmm. It's got the FJA with lots of little umlaut looking things above the tops of the letters.
Sure.
It's a canyon with a river that runs through it, and it's effectively inland fjords. It looks beautiful. There's just so many places that are out there on this planet. Mount Ramoria in Venezuela. If you've never seen that, it looks literally like a mountain floating on the clouds. It looks like something out of like...
It also looks upside down.
It does. It does. It looks like something out of Final Fantasy or something.
Yeah.
It's unreal. Of course, Antelope Canyon in the U.S., this is the one that they used in the movies a lot, where the guys are always in between in the canyons where they're being chased on horseback, and they get lost in there, and it's echoing everywhere. You see them in the westerns and stuff. It's always real colorful and beautiful. But there's just so many places that if you just get out and explore this rock, there's so many places on it that is absolutely gorgeous.
Right now.
So yeah.
So now a while back, you were telling me these stories about these two places.
Yeah, we sat and discussed this one,
and
didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And there's no transition. Sorry, we're just jumping.
It's okay.
So a while back, you were telling me a story about these two places, and it really stuck with me. And
so you did the research.
I read into both of these different places, and it's crazy. So we're going to move away from talking about like pretty things that you have to look at, because this is an audio medium and that's kind of hard to do.
Right.
So now we're going to talk about just some fascinating stories about places that actually exist.
Right.
And what happened to make it an interesting story. So there's two of these. Which one would you like to talk about?
Let me have the lake.
Okay. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
It don't matter. It doesn't matter however you want the marching order to be. We'll be fine.
Well, you were just talking about the Yucatan, so okay. I'll talk about this other place. So the place I want to talk about is this place called Centralia, Pennsylvania. Now it's kind of it's in Columbia County in Pennsylvania. It's basically now a ghost town. There are as of 2012, I think there were 7 residents or something like that.
Yeah. There's not many people left there.
But what makes this little town worth talking about? Well, it's been around since 1793, roughly. And early on, people discovered that this area of Pennsylvania had pretty significant amounts of coal deposits.
Right.
Which it was a big deal back then. That steam powered, coal powered, everything. Well, not then. In the 1800s, later on. But anyway, so eventually they start mining in the mid 1800s. They start mining the coal in the area. And that's pretty much what the major industry was in this vicinity for a long, long, long time, was coal and coal mines.
Right.
Why is that significant? Well, that really in itself is not terribly significant. But what is significant is, now you're going to think I'm lying to you here. Well, you're not, because you told me the story, but people out there may think I'm lying to you. Since May of 1962, the ground underneath this entire town has been on fire.
Yep. It has literally been sitting and smoldering.
Yes. For over, let's see, 2019, I'm terrible at math, 57 years?
Yeah.
Almost 60 years. It's still on fire, folks.
Yep.
There is some argument about specifically what started the fire. Some people claim that it began with an attempt to clean up the local town landfill. The borough council had hired members from the volunteer fire department to clean up the landfill, which was near an abandoned strip mine. They had done this previously in many different years. This is the method. They would go into the landfill and burn out all the stuff that wouldn't decay.
Yeah,
I guess I don't know the word.
Yeah,
but they would go in and burn everything else that wasn't natural enough to decay on its own. And they've been doing this for years. The problem is, unlike in all the previous years, these guys did not successfully extinguish the fire when they were done.
So it's been sitting and smoldering.
And there was an unsealed opening in the nearby abandoned strip mine pit that allowed the fire to go into the coal mine and start this smoldering process. Now, that's one theory. The other theory states that the fire had actually begun the day before the firemen were sent out to clean out the landfill, because a trash hauler had dumped hot ash or coal from their coal burners into an open trash pit, because some people say that a borough council meeting, the minutes from the meeting on the day before refer to 2 fires that had occurred at the dump, and that the firefighters had submitted bills to the council for fighting the fire near the landfill area.
Okay.
The borough itself was responsible to install fire-resistant clay barriers between each layer of the landfill, but they had fallen behind schedule, which left the barrier layer incomplete. And that's what they say is what allowed the coals to penetrate, or the hot coals to penetrate into the mine beneath and start the subterranean fire. So, I mean, there's a couple of different things that they're saying. Some people blame the firefighters that were supposed to clean it out, that they didn't properly extinguish the fire when they were done. Other people say it was a trash hauler that dumped hot coals, and it was the city council's fault for not having properly installed the clay barriers that were supposed to be there. So, anyway, regardless, this thing was on fire in 1962. Now, the crazy part about this is no one knew it. Not a single person knew.
You got to think this thing was happening underground. This is not something that you're going to see like any kind of. There was no real evidence that anything was wrong for quite some time.
Well, but I mean, you had to if it's on fire, what's the saying? Where there's smoke, there's fire. True. Well, I guess that's backwards. That's a fallacy. Never mind. Logical fallacy. if there's fire, there doesn't necessarily have to be smoke, I guess. But
right,
you
but
would think there would be some evidence somewhere that there was a fire.
Well, okay, so think about it this way. Anytime that you have some sort of a underground thermal, something that's going on, we don't necessarily know where those all are.
Right, but a lot of
can
that's
just pop.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of that's not.
So some of it can be hidden. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, fair enough. So 17 years later, in 1979, was the first time anybody ever became aware that there was a problem in this town.
Right.
What happened 17 years later? This guy that owned a gas station, who also happened to be the mayor at the time, named John Coddington, put a dipstick into one of his gas tanks to measure how much gas he had in his tank.
Right.
When he pulled it back out, he thought, wow, that's weird. My dipstick's hot.
Yeah, I wonder why.
That's a little crazy. And maybe I should investigate this. So he tied a thermometer on the bottom of his dipstick and stuck it back down in the tank again. Left it sit there for a minute, pulled it back out.
Hot again.
His gas was 172 degrees.
Yeah, we're talking a few more degrees and we're talking flashpoint.
Well, I mean, if it was water, it would have been boiling in another 40 degrees.
Right.
So, yeah. So the fire had been raging long enough that an underground gas tank had reached the temperature of 172 degrees. Slowly, the state of Pennsylvania began to draw attention to this, when it culminated in 1981 when a 12-year-old boy fell into a sinkhole that suddenly opened up in his backyard. His cousin was fortunately nearby and was able to pull him back out and save his life. They noticed that there was some steam coming out of the hole. They called in some state investigators. They measured that and found that the gases coming out of the hole contained a lethal level of carbon monoxide.
Gosh. It's crazy.
By this time, there were now physical and visible evidence of the fire, and the residents of Centralia were very contentious about whether or not the fire posed a direct threat. So you got people that live there that are like, oh, it's no big deal. It's been going on since 1962. And you got other people going, oh, like sinkholes are opening up. There's lethal doses of carbon monoxide seeping up from the ground.
It's effectively made this entire town inhabitable because of...
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's crazy. In 1983, the United States Congress allocated over $42 million to help relocate residents of the town. Most people accepted the money and moved. Excuse me, sorry. In 92, the governor of Pennsylvania at the time, Bob Casey, invoked eminent domain on all of the property in the area. He condemned all of the buildings within it. The remaining residents tried to go to court and fight this. Their action failed. In 2002, the USPS discontinued the zip code for the area. In 2009, the governor at that time, Ed Rendell, began formal eviction of anyone left in the town. And yeah, I can't remember where the number was, but somewhere in the early 2000s, there were 7 people left in the town. And when they have somehow fought to retain the rights to their properties. But when those people die, the state has officially said that eminent domain,
yeah,
the land is ours. It will not be inhabitable past that point.
Wow.
So I mean, this is still 2000, from 1962 to 2009, and they're still going to legal battles trying to fight. I mean, we've had a little bit of rain and sinkholes are opening up here, and I'm like nervous.
Yeah. I can't imagine knowing that the entire ground underneath my town is smoldering and burning
it's
away.
It's on fire. It's, as the coal burns, it's going to eat, there goes the support for the ground.
Right.
Things are going to collapse. You've got lethal gas seeping up from the fire, which, everybody knows you can't burn coal in the house. Like, it'll kill you. You got sinkholes. You got the fire itself. Like, it's like, I don't understand why people would want to stay here. Like, why would you want to live in a place that's on fire?
I have no idea.
And I don't mean like, Paris Hilton, that's hot. No, I mean like
literally burning.
Literally burning, yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. That's one of those places that is absolutely nuts that anybody is still there.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the number. Estimate in 2013 were that there were 7 residents left in 5 households. None of them had any children under the age of 18. 2 of them were married couples, and 1 was a single female. So, yeah, it's just weird.
Wow. Pennsylvania has some strange things that kind of just happen up there, and things that have happened, this is completely and totally off the subject of the burning mountainside, but the Allegheny Mountains and that mountain range where all of this coal and all that kind of stuff is, there's some strange stuff that has happened there.
One of the footnotes here says that the screenwriter Roger Avery researched this town to help with his screenplay for the Silent Hill movie adaptation.
Yeah.
So,
right there, it should tell you there's some weird stuff. We're talking a stone's throw away from Centralia, Pennsylvania. There was, back in the 1800s, 1856 actually, there was 2 little boys that went missing, and they're known as the lost children of the Alleghenies. Alison Krauss, there was a song that was done about them, and it's the strange thing is that there was an old man that kind of lived. I don't want to say he was kind of like the crazy guy of the town, but people didn't necessarily take a whole lot of stock in what he said. Right. And he had these weird dreams about where these boys were, and led the search party straight to them from the clues that was in his dream. It's called Jacob's Dream. These little boys were 7 and 5, and of course they had already passed away from exposure to the elements. But yeah, it's crazy. The song is called Jacob's Dream, and it's haunting, haunting to say the least. But there's an actual real story that's behind the song, and I don't know. Pennsylvania, the mountains of Pennsylvania it's not someplace that I would want to necessarily wander around. I mean, you may fall into a sinkhole that's burning, or the spirits of these little boys come and get you. I don't know.
That's what gets me about this story about Centralia is just, since 1979, people have known that there's a raging underground fire that's emitting lethal gas, and people still want to live there. That's what boggles my mind, really, is just the fact that there are people who are like, no, this is fine. It's the webcomic with the dog. No, this is fine. Everything's fine. As he sits there and melts. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, this is not one of those places you want to be.
No, exactly.
All right, so are you ready for the lake?
Yeah, let's hear about this lake. Maybe they need to move the lake to the coal fire.
You know what? That might help. That'd be a heck of a move, though. All right, so this took place. This is one of those weird things. It took place in Louisiana. It was a lake. It's called Lake Penier. It is a lake located about 1.2 miles north of Delcombre and 9.1 miles west of New Iberia, and in Louisiana. Now, there was really nothing significant about this lake. It was just a pretty little place that people would go fishing. Maximum depth of it was right around 200 feet at its deepest point.
Oh, that's now.
Oh, that's now. Okay, so it was about a 10 foot deep freshwater body of water.
Right.
This was a place where people would sport fish and all this kind of stuff. And like on November 20th, that morning, everybody woke up, everything was all good. There was a procedure in the lake that was planned. They were going to go in and do a little bit of work. And that evening when they went to bed, everyone's life around that lake had changed drastically.
Yep.
So on November 20th in 1980, the structure of this lake completely changed because of a drilling disaster. It was a Thursday. An oil rig contracted by Texaco had gone out and they were supposed to just drill down into a specific spot with a 14-inch drill, and they must have gotten themselves off track somewhere. They basically got themselves in above a spot that they shouldn't have been, and when that 14-inch drill made its plunge into the bottom of the lake, what it did was plunged into the roof of a salt mine that was located under the lake. Now, when this happened, there were 55 miners in the salt mine. The 14-inch hole that was punched by this drill, when the drill, I guess, bit came back out, at that point, we now have a hole in the ceiling of this on the third tier down of this salt mine. And water started rushing in. Now, we all have had basic science. We know what happens when salt and water mix. It dissolves, right? Mm-hmm. So this fresh water starts flooding into the mine, and as it does, it starts eating away at the mine itself, and the hole grows exponentially. All 55 miners that were in the mine saw this impending doom that was coming for them and hightailed it out of there, and luckily were able to escape. There was a fisherman on the lake itself in a small boat that was able to navigate his boat to shore and get out of the water before the terrible stuff really started happening. Now, unfortunately, there were 3 dogs somewhere in the mix of all of this, and they perished. That's the report anyway. So this drill, whenever it entered the mine, it started a chain of reaction of events that took the lake from a freshwater to a saltwater lake with a really, 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 really now deep hole in the middle of it. That's where the 200-foot depth hole is now.
Well, now, so a part of the reason for that is it had been a functioning salt mine under this lake
since 1919.
Yeah, since the early 1900s.
Yeah, 1919 is when the salt mine
There's
opened.
70 years worth of excavation under the lake that these guys tapped into.
Right.
Now, there's numbers here that just fascinate me, though. I got to throw out here. Once the drill bit popped the hole, it took 3 hours for the lake to drain 3.5 billion, with a B, 3.5 billion gallons of water.
Right. That is the hole, that 14-inch hole didn't stay 14 inches for more than about a half a second.
Yeah. 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 It actually opened. I don't see the number here anywhere, but it's the largest diameter man-made vortex ever created.
Right. It's insane. Okay, so it says the resulting whirlpool here sucked in the drilling platform that had punched the hole, 11 barges that were in the lake, trees, and 65 acres of surrounding terrain all ended up in this hole. Now, so much water drained into this thing that the flow of the water that typically went out of the lake and emptied into Del Cambre Canal, it actually reversed flow. And when that happened, the brackish, salty water from the canal and from Vermilion Bay actually was sucked back into this lake, effectively changing its ecology completely. It went from a saltwater lake to a brackish lake, which is kind of a mix between salt and fresh. It's not like salty as the ocean, but it's not freshwater anymore. So it also, when this happened, the flow backward happened, and that much water had been, effectively the bottom had fallen out from under it. It created for for a few days, the tallest waterfall in the state of Louisiana. It was 164 feet high as the lake refilled with this salty water that was coming back in from the bay. Now, that morning, well, like I said, they woke up, everything was good to go. That evening, they went to sleep with the roar of a waterfall just down the road from them. So when it refilled with salty water from the canal and the bay, the air that was displaced in the mine from all of this water now filling it created 400-foot geysers in the elevator shaft where the water came back into the and shot up because of the pressures. So not only do you have a massive sinkhole, vortex, whirlpool that's sucking barges and trees and acres of land and everything around it in, but you also down the road have a 400-foot like geyser of water that's just continuously spewing until the pressures eventually regulated, and it basically was stopped. The strange thing is no one was harmed in this. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah,
at all.
There were 55 people
55
underground
employees. Yep.
in the salt mine.
They all got out,
and they all were able to get out before the mine totally flooded.
Yeah.
Another thing that blew my mind that I read about this, there was a barge, or no, not a barge. I'm sorry, a tugboat in the canal when it started going.
Oh yeah,
and the tug tried its hardest to go out to sea.
Couldn't do it. But it was sucked back in.
The water was going so fast into the lake that the tug couldn't get away.
It's just caught in current.
Yeah. But the guys, there were people on the boat. Like they were trying to drive it out, but it was sucking the boat back towards the vortex. All the people on the tug though were able to jump off onto shore. Like they just jumped straight off to shore, but they had to abandon the boat and watch it go down the hole.
Oh my Lord.
I was just like, oh my gosh, man.
Okay, so here's something that just blew my mind. So this is we're days after this disaster. So days after this thing, and once all the pressures equalized and we now have this 200-foot like hole in the lake, and it's now back to lake level, Of the 11 like barges, 9 of them resurfaced. They popped back up like bobbers and were refloated on the lake's surface. So they didn't lose everything.
That's good. They got their boat. They got their boat. The barges are probably empty now. But.
Absolutely. So Texaco, after this was all said and done, they ended up having to pay out a couple of different people. They paid these guys, the Wilson brothers. Says they paid $32 million to Diamond Crystal, which was the salt company, and to a nearby plant nursery, Live Oak Gardens. These were both out-of-court settlements that they were able to basically, I guess, give them some money so that way they wouldn't continue to sue because obviously livelihoods were ruined there. The mine says though was finally closed in December of 1986. I'm assuming that they were able to get back into parts of it that hadn't flooded for a couple of years afterwards.
Or they were just fighting it until they got their money from Texaco.
True. Now, this was something that I didn't know until I did a little bit more research on it, though. It says since 1994, AGL Resources has used Lake Penure's underlying salt dome as a storage and hub facility for pressurized natural gas. So there's evidently a bubble of natural gas somewhere underneath there. To me, that makes it sound like they're just storing tanks of gas. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. But now here's just the common concern from local residents. This is the safety of storing gas under the lake is far outweighs any benefit. Huh. Especially with nearby drilling operations still going on. The lake has now become salty, and it completely changed the ecosystem in it. Yeah. And today, if you go to Lake Penure, you can go and take your boat out there on this now salty, brackish lake that is got a huge, deep hole in the middle of it.
And in 2 days, it went from roughly a 10 to 11 foot deep, on average, lake to now being a freshwater lake, to now being a 1,300 foot deep brackish lake.
Yep, that's crazy.
So that's how deep those mines were, though.
I just can't. I mean, I can't imagine. It's just unreal. So, yeah. And for anybody that wants to watch this happen, you can see it. There's video. There were a few people evidently that had video cameras close by this lake as this tragedy took place. And in the video, you can literally watch trees being sucked into these holes. You can watch boats go down into this hole, and like the whole lake, it's just like it's a vortex. It's just this big swirl and everything being sucked down in. So just do a quick search. Typically the videos are anywhere between 6 and 12 minutes long. It has interviews with people that live close by. There's even one. I want to say there's one home that was right there, and when the earth shifted into the lake, like now their chimney is sticking up out of the water. That's all that's left of one of the homes. It's just it's crazy. These places are. I'm telling you, like I say, our old rock has got some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful places on it, and then there are some weird stuff that goes on here too.
yeah. So you got one place where an entire lake disappeared underground, and you got another place where underground has been on fire for almost 60 years.
Almost 60 years. Yeah, I'm telling you,
ridiculous.
I know. I don't know. These are places that I think it would be interesting to go visit, though. And these would be places that would not necessarily be as dangerous as some of the places that you would go to visit. I'm sure like Centralia, you would want to take some precaution.
I don't think I'd want to go there. Lake Panura, I might go see. But
have you seen, there was one video, I don't know, I can't remember if it was a video or if it was just pictures that I saw of some of the blacktop roads in Centralia that are actually kind of bubbling up. The tar is...
people have graffitied on them.
Yeah.
And everything. Yeah.
And that was kind of a weird thing. But then there are some other places like, I always, for some reason, anytime I think of weird, strange places on this planet that would be an interesting place to see, Chernobyl for me. I would love to go and just walk the town of Chernobyl, but I want to do it in a radiation suit because I don't want to come out with an extra arm or anything.
Yeah.
So I think, but the way the town was evacuated so quick and everybody it's just a ghost town and it's left the way it was.
Well, there's a really cool game by an indie studio. It looks really cool. It might be trash of a game, but visually it looks really cool. It's called Chernobylite.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And it walks you through.
I don't know what the game is. I just saw like a 15-second little thing, but just some of the visuals in the game, like the way that they use the lighting and stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
It looks creepy though. It looks like a scary game, which I don't play. So
yeah, you don't do well with
I don't
zombie games and stuff like that. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that would be one of those places though that I think I would like to see. Just the few people that I've videos of people I've seen that have gone there, and they have to, of course, take all the precautions to go there. It's so, I don't know. It's just it's strange. It's just really, really like the whole town has this eeriness that hangs over it simply because it was just abandoned so quickly. You know. Yeah. Like so old amusement parks and stuff like that. There's one in New Jersey that I'd like to go see. They call, I can't remember. There was a movie. Johnny Knoxville did a movie about it, and it hurt so many people. I don't know. There's so many things that's on this rock that I want to see.
Right. Well, if you've got a place that just sounds creepy, cool, it's got a cool backstory to it, drop us a message. We're moving our Facebook page to facebook.com/groups/twomindspodcast. Because of some feedback we've gotten from people that the old page, sometimes they wouldn't be noticed. They wouldn't get the notifications when we would post our new stuff.
Yeah.
So I had talked to a few other people and have heard that the group thing is a little better for that, so that the people that want to follow us can get more reliably get the notifications.
So effectively, it's just like inserted groups in between the facebook.com and the Two Minds podcast.
Yeah.
With the // in between.
Yeah. Okay. Facebook.com/groups/twomindspodcast. That's going to be moving forward. If you want to hit like and follow on that group page, it should make it easier for you to get the notifications if you want.
Sounds good.
So, or, hit us up on there and tell us, like I said, if you got a cool, crazy, weird story with a a place that's got a weird backstory to it, let us know.
Or if you've been to one of these places that we're talking about, I'd love to hear stories.
Yeah,
We'd all
cool.
love to hear stories about that, or pictures or anything like that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, if you've been to any of these places or any cool places that you've been that you've taken pictures of, share them with us if you don't mind.
Yeah, put them out
we'd
there.
love to see them.
Yep. Yeah, we'll throw credit to you, no doubt. So, or shoot us a message. We are still on Twitter, regardless of its political implications, at twomindspodcast.
Or you can email us anything you want at twomindspodcast@gmail.com.
All right, and you can find this episode on our hosting site, Podbean, which you can find us at twominds.podbean.com, or you can find us and all of our past episodes on the Spotify. Just search for, quote, Two Minds Podcast, or I think you can even put our names in, Jason or Jeremy, right?
Jason Claywell or Jeremy Ham will also pull them up.
Yep. I think
if you do Two Minds Podcast, it has to be in quotes.
Yep. Yeah, I actually had one of my coworkers that said that they were like, well, I want to find your podcast, and they were on Spotify, and I think they put my name in, and that pulled it up. So
it'll pull up by either of our names, but if you want to look for the title of the podcast, you have to do it in quotes.
Yep.
Two Minds Podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
So awesome. So places around here, even I think there's some of those that I've never been to Short Creek, and everybody's around here from what I gather has been to Short Creek, and I don't even know where it's at, but I've seen.
I know what's up around Science.
I thought it was like out toward Shopville area. Maybe